Hello students, today we will discuss for the MCQs for circulatory system. And our first question is, which of the following are the possible blood groups of the offspring of the parents with blood group O and AB? And the given options are first O, A, B and AB. Second is A, B and AB. Third is A and B, and the fourth one O and AB. And the answer is A and B, because here in the first parent the condition is this one, and in the second parent the condition is like this. So you can have the answer blood group A and blood group B. Now our second question is, white blood cells act. First is as a defense against infection. Second is for clotting blood. Third, as source of energy. And fourth option is as a medium for oxygen transport from lungs to tissues. And undoubtedly, you can give the answer as white blood cells act as a defense against infection because they are the soldiers of the body. Now, third question is, in which of the following is extra blood stored and is released when shortage occurs? The options are adrenal gland, spleen, pancreas, and thyroid gland, and the answer is spleen. Our fourth question is, the average lifespan of red blood corpuscles is about, and the options are 100 to 200 days. Second option is 160 to 180 days. Third option is 100 to 120 days, and the fourth option is 150 to 200 days. And the correct option is 100 to 120 days, because you know that the RBCs, they don't have nucleus and they cannot repair themselves, and this is the reason they have short lifespans on an average for 120 days. Our next question is, from which of the following chambers of human heart is the oxygenated blood pumped into aorta? So the question is that through which chamber the blood it is forced to aorta, and the answer is left ventricle. Next question, if the radius of blood vessels of a person decrease, what will be the effect on the blood pressure? His or her blood pressure will increase, decrease, remain unaffected, and increase for males and decrease for females. And if the radius of the blood vessels of a person decreases, the blood pressure will increase because the space there that is decreased. Next question is, insufficient blood supply in human body is referred as hyperemia, ischemia, hemostasis, and hemorrhage. And the answer is ischemia. Our next question is, mineral impurities in blood are removed by lungs, kidney, spleen, and liver. And the answer is kidney. Because you know that urine formation, it takes place at the level of kidney, which are the excretory organs of ours. Next question is, between which one of the following sets of blood groups is a blood transfusion possible? And here the options are A, O, where A is donor, means blood it comes from A to O. A and AB, where the A is donor again. B, and A, where the B is donor, and AB and O, where the AB is donor. We have to be clear for the fact that AB is universal acceptor. So it can have blood from any of the blood group, and here the answer is A to AB. So the correct option is B. The blood can go from, it can transfuse from A to AB. Next question is the pH of the human blood is, and the answer is 7.4. Next question is, in the human body, red blood cells are produced in. Options are liver, pancreas, voluntary muscles, and bone marrow. And the answer is bone marrow, undoubtedly. That you all know that in the bone marrow, the red blood corpuscles, they are formed. Next question is, which is the anticoagulant substance in blood? And the options are fibrinogen, thrombin, globin, and heparin. Heparin is an anticoagulant, and the correct option is heparin. What vessel carries the venous blood to the lungs for oxygenation? The question is, through which vessel the blood it is carried from the heart to the lungs, and the answer is pulmonary arteries. Pulmonary artery carry the deoxygenated blood for oxygenation to the lungs. Next question is, when a child is born, what happens to its blood circulation? And the options are, its blood flows for the first time, its blood reverses its flow through the heart, its blood ceases to pass from one atrium to the other, and the fourth option is, its blood carries waste for the first time. And the correct option is, its blood carries waste for the first time. Our next question is, what is the approximate time required for a heartbeat? And that is 0.8 second, which consists of one systole and one diastole. Ventricles are related to heart only, brain only, both A and B, and none of these. And the correct option is, ventricles are related to heart as well as brain. So the option is both A and B. Our next question is, universal receivers can receive blood from group AB only, group O only, group A and AB, groups O, A, B, and AB. And the right option is, as they are the universal they acceptors, can have blood from all the four blood groups, and AB is the universal acceptor. So, the universal receivers can receive blood from all the four blood groups. That is why they are called as universal acceptors. Next option is, pulmonary artery carries pure blood from lungs, pure blood to lungs, impure blood to lungs, and impure blood from lungs. Our question is, pulmonary artery carries. So pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. So you have to write here impure blood to lungs, because it carries the deoxygenated blood from heart to the lungs. Next question is, ions of which of the following minerals play an important role in blood clotting? And the correct option is calcium. Calcium plays a very significant role in the blood clotting. What is the condition in which heart is not pumping the blood effectively to meet the requirements of the body called? Stroke, hypertension, myocardial infarction, and heart failure. The condition is heart failure. Our next question is that which part of the intestine is the digested food absorbed by the blood? And it is the jejunum region of the small intestine where the absorption of the digested food it takes place. Fastest distribution of some injectable material, medicine, and with no risk of any kind can be achieved by injecting it into the, and this is veins, and this is technically known as intravenous. So the answer is veins. Next question is where does the impulse of heartbeat originate? And the options are SA node. It is also considered as the pacemaker where the action potential it is generated and the impulse it is originated at a SA node. Which of the following veins does not carry deoxygenated blood? And the options are hepatic vein, hepatic portal vein, renal vein, and the pulmonary vein. And the correct option is pulmonary vein because this is the exception, and pulmonary vein it carries the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. Next question of ours, what is instrument for measuring the blood pressure? First option is electrocardiogram, second is anemometer, third is stethoscope, and fourth is sphygmanometer. And the correct option is sphygmanometer. What is the percentage of water in blood plasma? And in the plasma, 90% water is present. The correct option is 90. Plasma itself made up of 90% of water. Cheeks of the people in hilly areas are more red in color due to increase in production of RBCs. So you can have the options here like increase in production of WBCs, lesser quantity of plasma, decreased production of platelets, but this is the most general sort of question. That is why I have marked the option directly here. It is because of the increased production of RBCs, the cheeks of the people who live in hilly regions, they are red. What is the correct path through the circulatory system which describes the passage of blood originated in the left leg? And the options are vena cava, left atrium, right atrium, lungs. Actually, in this question, what is needed? The exact course of circulation that is needed. So, we have to choose here the exact course of circulation of the blood. And the exact circulation of the blood, we can have option here vena cava, left atrium, right atrium, lungs, left ventricle, right ventricle, aorta. Next is vena cava, right atrium, left atrium, lungs, right ventricle, left ventricle, aorta. Vena cava, left atrium, left ventricle, lungs, right atrium, right ventricle, aorta. And the last option is vena cava, right atrium, right ventricle, lungs, and now the blood comes to left atrium, left ventricle, and aorta. And this is the correct option. This is the exact course of circulation of blood through the heart. Which heart valves are not actively closed by the contraction of muscular structures? As the valves they are there for the prevention of backflow of blood, we can have the options here: mitral valves, semilunar valves, atrioventricular valves, and tricuspid valves. So the semilunar valves, which can be named as aortic valve and pulmonary valve, they cannot have the papillary muscles. They are devoid of papillary muscles, and that is why they are not actively closed by the contraction of muscular structures. In terms of being open or closed, what is the state of mitral and tricuspid valves, left and right atrioventricular valves, respectively, at the end of first heart sound? And it is that both are closed, because lub sound, it is there when both the atrioventricular valves, they are closed. So the option is that both the atrioventricular valves, they are closed. Next question: at the instant following the second heart sound, which heart valves are open? Both atrioventricular valves and semilunar valves only, atrioventricular valves only, all valves are closed. And the answer is that here all valves are closed. Next question: what physical feature of large systemic arteries, which are also known as resistance vessels, make them relatively more responsive to changes in intracellular calcium concentrations? And the options are absent tunica intima, thick tunica media, absent tunica media, and thick tunica intima. And the correct option is, it is the thick tunica media. Next question of ours: rank the following blood vessels in order of their average pressure from highest to lowest: artery, vein, arteriole, venule, aorta, and capillary. Our options are capillary, arteriole, venule, artery, vein, aorta. Next is aorta, artery, arteriole, capillary, venule, vein. Third is capillary, vein, venule, arteriole, artery, aorta. And the fourth one, aorta, arteriole, venule, artery, vein, capillary. And the correct option is this. In the aorta, the pressure is highest and gradually decreases from here to here. What layer of the heart would be most immediately susceptible to infections caused by bacteria circulating in the blood? And the correct option is, it is the endocardium, which is susceptible to the infections. What vessels carries deoxygenated blood away from the heart? And it is the pulmonary arteries, because these vessels, they carry deoxygenated blood away from the heart towards the lungs. How can the circulatory system promote heat retention and conservation, such as on a cold day? And it is the vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction means the contraction of the blood vessels. So here we have done the quiz for circulatory system. We will have so many quizzes for different topics. You can have the live interactive sessions with me. You can clear your doubts, and we'll meet in the next upcoming videos of ours. Have a very great day.